Gay men of Reddit, what was your sorry ladies, I like men moment? One time I told a girl that I liked her boots. In my defense they were awesome. But she and her boyfriend thought I said boobs. Oh god no, I'm gay helped me a lot that day. I'm more on the skinny side of men, and if you looked at me long enough you'd know damn well I'm gay. Apparently though it depends on where I am that people notice this fact. While at a bar with a couple of my friends, 3 straight dudes and 1 bi guy, I was talking with a lot of the women that my straight friends were chatting with as well. Just being friendly, you know. One of them, really pretty lady, was talking to me and telling me that she liked my confidence in talking to women. Which my confidence comes from wanting a conversation, not a hookup, and gave me her number. Let me tell you, my conversational confidence disappeared like that and I panicked and was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm gay, I like men. Luckily she didn't seem to phased by that and we ended up having a lovely conversation. I was at work, at the movie theater, and I waited on this group of 3 girls, and the one's mother, the girl who apparently was interested in me, appeared to have some bad social anxiety as she was doing everything with her mother, as her mother kept reassuring her with everything that she was doing, and that everything was okay. So I finish waiting on them, then go into the lobby to go clean up the counters, stock lids, etc. Then when I'm walking back past them, the girl's friends stop me and say, my friend thinks you're really cute, and we were wondering if she could have your number, and she was sitting there with her mother, looking like she was super nervous. So this made me feel terrible, so I had to reply back with, oh I'm sorry, I'm actually kinda gay, I feel so bad, I'm sorry, I'm sure you'll find someone though, best of luck. Then I walked away, continuously feeling bad for this girl because she took a chance and I ended up not even liking girls. Oof. Back home in the US, I am coded gay, particularly my voice. However, where I live now, I am just seen as the American. I had a really nice woman strike up a conversation with me. I was really enjoying things until she touched my hand and laughed. I thought that was really weird because I typically don't like being touched, but when she laughed, I realized that she was flirting with me, not just having a conversation. So, I rolled with it, and a couple of minutes later referred to my dogs and my husband. The cold shoulder I got afterward made me wish I had kept my mouth shut. We were having a great conversation and she was lovely. Conversely, I have often found that women will be a bit standoffish of me until I mention my husband, at which point the mood completely changes, and I see a much brighter, happier, and less reserved person. This is by far the most common thing that happens. It makes me sad that both happens. I was getting drunk with my manager out in the parking lot after my last day of work. General, I'm going to miss you. It's been fun. Remember that time? Kind of stuff. She confessed she had feelings for me, but because of the company's strict rules on fraternization she kept it to herself. She then asked if I wanted to go back to her place. Now, I never talked about my sexuality. I prefer to be single, so people would probably assume from a distance and never be validated one way or the other. I wouldn't lie if someone asked, but I pass for straight, so no one ever really did. I told her what the deal was, but surprisingly this didn't change her mind. She was not a person that was used to or would tolerate rejection. This made her a great GM but not very personable. In fact, she kind of got offended and continued to come on to me regardless, right there in the front seat of her car. Again, I told her it wasn't going to happen and I didn't feel comfortable with her advances. She then tried renegotiating, asking if she could just suck my donk instead. Haven't had one. Usually ladies just ask me if I have a jolfer, pause as if coming to a realization, and continue with significant other just started a new job, and that exact sequence of syllables has happened to me at least 3 times in as many days. Apparently I'm just obvious enough that you can tell, but not until you're mid-sentence. I usually just get it out of the way. It's easier when you have a partner. I usually just talk about my dogs and how I got to name one and he got to name the other when I'm introducing myself. Clears it up pretty quickly without beating people over the head. I don't like the weird multiple coming out process that can happen if I don't find a way to put it out there. I'm also decently androgynous in many ways, so people usually can read me and then end up tripping over themselves trying to ask about my so or spouse so they don't come off as rude. Better to just avoid the little bit of awkwardness. I'm B and probably the straightest acting white dude you've ever met. I recently started dating a girl last month and have told a few people at work about it. Their reactions are always a mix of disbelief and awkward attempts to say they are okay with LGBT+ people. I enjoy it. I was at a bar with my friends. Standard. Rather tipsy girl comes over and starts trying to grind on me. It's inappropriate anyway, but I have to turn to her to push her away because I was rather uncomfortable. She looks a little offended, so I ask her the classic "Are you into guys?" She says yes and I say me too. Mistake. She immediately changes tack and starts with the gay best friend thing. Rude. Then proceeded to fall backwards over a brass tool. I escaped and went back to talking about Formula 1 with my friends while she found a dude to make out with. I was out at a bar catching up with my siblings and a few friends when one chick started hitting on me. Typical of me, I just thought she was being friendly. My sister leaned over and said, "You're barking up the wrong tree there. He likes dudes." Poor girl looked so embarrassed. She didn't end the night empty-handed. My brother took her home instead. In the school hallway I was yelled at by some girl because they thought I was looking at her friend's ass. I was literally wearing a pink shirt with rainbow stripes and an earring. It would literally take 2 seconds looking at me to know that I'm gay. I just laughed and said nah, I'm homo, and walked away. I was at a music festival and one of my favorite artists came out and played a great set. It's absolutely packed and I'm dancing my ass off in a huge crowd of people having a great time. I guess the girl standing in front of me thought I was dancing up against her to try and make a move. She turns around and tells me she has a boyfriend. Literally told her that's great. I'm gay so that's not really any concern of mine. But I really dig your 80s top, so you do you. I was in the elevator of a resort going to my room, as I just arrived in town and needed to get ready for a trade show. In comes 3 drunk chicks from the pool. One goes, "I like men with beards," trying to flirt. When I replied, "So do I," she went from trying to boink to trying to be my fruit fly. I sat in the back corner of health class when I was a junior, though at my new school it was a freshman class. I immediately had 5 girls surround me. It was clear a couple of them had a crush. I moved a lot, so it was normal for people not to know me and normal for me to keep to myself. Granted, I'm not a small guy, but I was still nervous about being out. One day they spent a good 20 minutes literally giving me a sales pitch on which one of them was hotter and wouldn't stop bugging me for an answer. At some point one of the louder ones asked out of nowhere, "Are you gay?" I said without even thinking, "Yes." "So stop asking," she screamed. No joke, "You're actually gay," loud enough for people in the hall to stop and look in. It was almost worse because now these 5 girls immediately clung onto their first gay friend. Could have been worse. I had to fight at a couple past schools. Now though, I had a fairly impenetrable girl shield, so nobody had a thing to say. First time I came out publicly too. One time I was getting KFC with a friend and I think the girl at the counter must have misread my politeness. Once I'd gone to sit down with my friend, she came past and was like, "Here," and put a piece of paper on the table pretty abruptly before walking off. Basically it was a short message and her number. I'm pretty obviously not straight in the way I present myself, so this sort of thing doesn't normally happen to me and I wasn't sure what to do. In the end I spent like an hour trying to find out the best way to say, "Hey, you seem nice and good on you for being so ballsy, but also I'm gay." I also made the mistake of posting about it on Facebook because it was pretty funny, especially if you know me. But someone saw it who knew both of us and put 2 and 2 together. So basically I freaked up a bit there. She was real nice about it all and she thought it was funny too, so it was chill. I was very out of my depth though. I'm a white guy who tends to get read as gay in white communities because I'm short, generally well dressed, and have a higher pitched voice. I work with Latino communities a lot in my job, though, and for them, I often get read as masculine straight because I have facial hair. Different cultural benchmarks, I guess. No big deal emo. One time, though, I had 2 women in the community open up that they got in a big fight over me. One was mad that the other was spending more time with me. I just sat there dumbstruck and scared about outing myself because I didn't want to stop working with them. I just had to casually mention my novio, not novia, and they figured it out. I think they just felt silly. I still work with them. Great ladies. One of them is going to cook me mole soon. I'm stoked.